Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to make some belly bands today. I need a few belly bands for a couple of journals that I'm working on, and I was trying to think of how to make them a little bit different. You know, I always like to make things a little bit different other than just a plain belly band. So I got this pack of their little tiny fork and spoon envelopes. They're just like this from one of you guys. That is your writing right there. If you know who you are, I can't remember. I got them sometime last year. But it just says 100% craft paper bags, and they're made to put like a knife and fork or spoon, whatever, in. They have a gusset, but I'm not going to use the gusset, so I'm going to tape that together right there. And I got this journal so that I can see. Now, you'll have to make your belly bands the height of whatever journal you're working on. So I was just going to measure and make sure that this is going to work. I've not made one like this before, so who knows. And I think if I cut it off right there, right at that edge there, then it should work in this one. And this is the one that I'm working on now that is our Lighthouse journal, and it's our ocean journal, whatever you want to call it. I got these from Cindy, I believe it is, in New York, and I put those on there. I thought that was so cute. Still got to make some tags and different things, and then I also put some back here. I thought that worked really well with this collection. So let's get started and see what we can do. Now, for my other journal, I'll have to measure the pages on it, because these pages are a little bit taller than the pages on my other journal that I'm working on. But this just gives you an idea. Now, if you don't have these little bags, of course, you can just put two pieces of paper together and leave it open at one end and make something. But since I had these already, I thought I would just use them. We'll see what we can come up with. I'm going to use my glue stick to go down the sides and glue this little gusset together. And I may stitch down the sides. I don't know. It's going to depend on how much room I have inside there, because this is going to be a little pocket as well. So we'll be able to put a tag in there. So if it works out well, we will anyway. Let's hope it works out well. I hope everybody is fine. We are good here. We finally got our flooring delivered. Not that it's in yet, but it's delivered. So our contractor will be out here the day after Memorial Day to get started. So we're excited. If you want to see, I know I've had a few people that ask, can we see what your house looks like now? If you want to see that, I'll do a little video on it and put it up. Just let me know in the comments below if that's something that you want to see. I wasn't going to do that unless somebody really wanted to see it. I mean, it's really not very much to see. It's nothing in there. It's just bare, not even bare floors. It's bare, the wood on the below the subfloor, whatever that wood is, that's what's down there. And I'm not too good at knowing my different woods, but that's all that you'll see basically. But you'll see how much my house is torn apart. If you want to, I'll show it. If not, that's fine too. I just wanted to ask, I purchased a digital from, and let me look and see who it was from. It's called Seaside Lighthouse. It's from Mad Paper Crush, and it has lots of beautiful tags on it. I've already used a lot of these. Tickets, all kinds of things. I've already made some ephemera to go in the journal with some of these. But, there. And then I've cut out these to use. But I'm going to use some of the paper from the collection on some of these belly bands. So, let's see. Which one would I like to use on there? It's really pretty browns and blues. Ooh, that's pretty. Now, I don't know. This may be a little bit long. Go all the way. I didn't blow it all the way up because I didn't want to lose some of these side pieces. And that's okay, because if it is, all I'm going to do is tear this, and then I'll put it on there. And if a little bit of that white shows, that's fine. It's not a problem. Whoops. So see, when you're tearing something very, very thin, you need to put Lots of pressure on it. And this is just regular copy paper that I printed this on. It is not any kind of thick cardstock because I knew I was going to be using it on these. So I printed it on regular copy paper. Okay, I think that's good enough. I tore that. And see, it's going to have just a little bit of that white showing, and I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. So we're going to just mark this side, or I'm not even going to mark it. I'm just going to lay my ruler up here and tear it. Oh yes, that's going to look good. It's got that lighthouse on it. And then I'm just going to use my glue stick to put this down, and I may go around the very edge with a little bit of glue because I've decided I'm not going to stitch it, because if I stitch, I'm going to lose some of my pocket. And I don't want to lose any of my pocket, so I may go around the very edge with just some art glitter glue. That way I've got the edges stuck down well. And like I said, if you don't have these envelopes or you can't get your hands on them, you could always just use your paper and just put two pieces of paper together, glue them together. All except, you know, just glue them around the edges to like you're making a big tall pocket. So that's basically what we're doing. I'm just going to use these because I already have them, and I've been trying to think of some way to use them that would work in a journal, and I think this is the best way. One of the ways. We can always come up with something else, probably. Let's see. Okay. Come on now. There we go. All right, let's grab our card. Press that down well. And someone asked what this was. What was I pressing the pieces down with? This is just an old card. It's an old rewards card from Holiday Inn that I don't use anymore. So I just use that. Just use an old credit card or something. All right. There we go. Now, we don't have to cover the back, keep in mind, because that's going to be down. Let's see. That looks okay. I'm just going to leave that as is, and I'm just going to ink it a little bit. And I am using old paper to ink. Now, I do want to put a tag or something on here. A label, a tag, or something. So these are just a few little labels that we've had in our stash. And I don't know if any of these are going to work or not. Because they're, I don't know, they're not really the right colors. But they're of the, like a map type thing. So that's why I wanted to really use them, because I think they would go well on here. But let's just try to find one that's going to work. Let's see. That might work. That's a green one. I don't really have any blue in here. They're either mauve or green. So what do we think about that? It's got some of that same color that this little shell has in it. And let's see. Do I want to trim around those edges or leave? I think I'm just going to put it down like it is. Now these are little stickers, I think. I have to get my little tool here because my fingers do not want to pull those up. Yeah, these are little stickers. And I'm trying to decide where I want to put it. Right there will be good. Okay, got that on there. And now I want to put some lace down the edges. And I thought about this light blue lace, but that might be a little bit too much blue. So maybe the white. Let's go with this. Someone asked me, it was so funny, because, and the reason it's funny is because my son-in-law that makes these, he calls them the same thing. Somebody said, what in the world do you use those bones for that are in your store? And my son-in-law calls them the same thing. When I tell him that I'm out of some of these, I always say I'm out of the 2-inch ribbon holders or lace holders, and he'll say, "You mean those bones? You're out of the bones? They look like a dog bone, don't they?" Yes, I'm out of the bones. But someone said, "What are those bones used for that are in your store?" And I said, "Well, they're lace holders. You know, I use them for all my lace." And it just tickled me, like I said, because Benji calls them the same thing. He'll say, "Are you about out of 2-inch or 3-inch or 4-inch bones?" See, no, not yet, but I will be. Because they sell really, really fast. And I love them for storing my lace. Love, love, love them. Even my vintage lace I don't mind putting on here because it holds very, very well. And you can use that little piece right there, the little cutout, to, you know, put your lace through, and you don't have to use a pin. But a lot of my vintage lace I don't do that with. If it's vintage-y, I don't put it in there because I don't want to take a chance on it tearing or anything like that. So I'm going to run a little of this lace down each side. And then I don't know that we'll do too much more. We'll look and see what else we have that we might put on there. This collection is just right down my alley because you guys know how much I love my lighthouses. I love the beach. I love anything that has anything to do with the beach and lighthouses. So when I was looking for some material to make a cover for this collection, and the collection is called Ocean, not this one, but the collection that I used. You know, I used 12 by 12 paper to make my pages, and it's called Ocean. So I thought, how appropriate to use a lighthouse, because where do you see lighthouses? At the ocean. Well, you see some at the Great Lakes, I think, but you also see the Great Lakes is like a big ocean to me. And I love my lighthouses because years ago I had a huge collection of lighthouses, and it got way too much for me to take care of. And you know, you have to dust them. Oh, I hate to dust. So the dusting got just more than I could handle, and work too. So I ended up selling a lot of them, which I wish I had a lot of them back now, but I don't need them because I don't really have room for them. And they, like I said, they're a lot of trouble because you do have to keep them dusted and all of that kind of stuff. So my daughter, well, we gave some away to a lady that collected them that was in really bad health. We gave a lot away to her. And then I sold a few, and I still have 1 or 2, but not many. All right, so that is that. Now, I like that. I think it's pretty. Don't mind it at all. We'll go ahead and put it in our journal and make a tag for it. I am going to put some bling down the side because I just like bling down the side. Now, you don't have to put lace on it. If that's not something you want to do, you don't have to put lace on there. You can leave it plain. We'll probably make a couple more, and I may leave the other ones plain. Who knows? I almost pulled that lace too tight. So let's see. Let's put it about right here. I just think lace and this black bling looks good together. Something about it that just sets it off. Okay, now I need to see how wide my tag needs to be. And it definitely doesn't need to be that wide. So what I think I'm going to use is one of these time cards, and I know I'm going to have to cut it down. Oh, it's not long enough, so we won't use that time card. All right, let me grab something else. Yes, that's going to be long enough. This is just a Tim Holtz ephemera. It was one of those little talk. I think this was the Big Talk. Yeah, Big Chat. And I just keep the backing off of those. Off of any of the ephemera, I keep the backing. So we're going to cut that little bit off at the top. And I'm hoping that it's still going to be long enough when I cut that off. think it will once I put my little pull on it. Okay, I cut as little as possible off of there. And then we need to cut off the width. So let's cut right there for the width. This needs to be a skinny one. Can almost make 2 out of this. Okay. Now let's see if that fits down in there, and I haven't glued anything together. Okay, it does. It fits perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cut this little piece right here out, and I'm hoping this will cut it. If not, I'll have to do it with my scissors. Yeah, it did it. Perfect. That just helps the top look a little bit better. So let's go ahead and cover this with something. I don't know what kind of paper. I think I'll cover it with some of the brown. Since I made the outside blue, let's just do the brown. And yeah, started to say, hopefully that's going to go. Well, I had to stop my video. I had almost had a heart attack. I had an experience. I'm here alone today. Whit's gone to town to pick up some supplies that he needs, that the guy needs for the flooring, and I heard, and I'm gonna leave it on the video. I'm not gonna leave on the video what I said, and I didn't say anything ugly, but I just yelled. But anyway, I'm gonna leave on the video the sound of the crash. And I went outside and looked, and a huge tree right by our driveway came down. It didn't take anything with it, thank the Lord. That's usually where we keep the vehicles parked. But we had moved all the cars this morning because the delivery guy was coming to bring the flooring, and we knew he would need to get in right there by the garage, so we moved all the cars, thank the Lord, because that came down right there and it would have hit all 3 vehicles. Last night, this is how God takes care of you, and I don't care if you don't like this video because I'm saying the good Lord takes care of you or not. If you don't like it, then you can go somewhere else. But last night, Whit and I was actually standing right there where that came down, loading up some junk out of the garage that we wanted to take to the landfill. So we was loading up some things out of the garage there, and we was standing right there, and the wind was blowing heavy last night. So thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. So anyway, I just sent my hubby a message. He's not going to be a happy camper because now all of that has to be cleaned up, and he can't run a chainsaw because of his pacemaker defibrillator. So it's been an interesting few months here. But you know what? I'm just going to take it in stride because the way I look at it, we were taken care of. We could have been standing there and it could have fell on us, or all the vehicles could have been there, and you know they could have all been crushed, and they weren't. So I'm just gonna say thank you, thank you, thank you. What a blessing, what a blessing. And just go with the flow. That's all you can do, you know. You can sit down and cry over things, or you can just kind of go with the flow and say thank you, Lord, for something worse not happening, and that's just what we got to do. All right, now back to our crafting. I'm going to cover that with that little brown paper, and I'm just trimming off the edges here. And I should have done this with my little knife, but I didn't. With the scissors, sometimes I go kind of crooked. So when y'all hear the crash in the video, that is the tree coming down right outside, and really it's right outside my shop, my crafting store and my online store. It's just right out the door. I mean, you can walk out the door and there it is. Oh, okay. Now back to this. I'm going to go ahead and use my little mat here because I get glue everywhere otherwise. And I will stitch around this because this is going to be the tag. Now the reason you see all that glue there is because this being cardboard or chipboard, it does kind of eat your glue up. But all you have to do, and somebody said, well, I thought that was a non-stick and it sticks to it. Well, it's a non-stick as in I can do this and clean all of that up. But glue is going to stick down there to it. It's just that you can clean it all up. And if you put hot glue on this and let it set, it will cool, and then you can just peel the hot glue right off. So it is kind of non-stick, but yet, you know, your regular glue stick is going to stick to it just a little bit. But you can always just wipe it right off. And that's what I do. I just keep a wet baby wipe right beside me. And I just wipe it right up. I don't know if our neighbors heard that crash or not, bless their hearts. They're friends of Alicia's. And since Alicia and them has moved out and got their own place now, they kind of watch out for us because they know we're old. And so every time something happens that is kind of out of the norm, they'll text Alicia and go, is your mom and dad okay? Do we need to do anything? And they'll probably be texting Alicia and go, there's a tree that just fell at your mom and dad's house. Are they okay? Bless their hearts. I appreciate neighbors like that. Okay. Let's make sure this goes down in there before we go any further. Yes, and I'm going to put a pull at the top. So that is not a problem there. And I think all I'm going to do is round the top corners off instead of cutting it into a tag shape. Since it's kind of small, I'm just going to round the corners off, and I'll go ahead and round the bottom. Tags are a lot easier to put in and out of small pockets if it's got rounded corners on it. Whit's probably just going to keep going when he sees my text. He's probably going to say, I'm not even going home. Things just keep happening. Bless his heart. He's got it rough. His heart is not in really good shape, and it's really got it in bad shape lately. A lot worse than it ever has been. And it's to the point where he can't do a lot at all without he just loses his breath, and he just can't do it. So he was so upset yesterday because he couldn't help anybody. He couldn't, he knows how to put down flooring. He did that for many, many years, but he can't put it down now because he's just not able to. And he said, I hate this. I hate being so disabled that I can't do anything, that I can't help my kids and do stuff that I used to do years ago. And I said, I know that you hate it, and I know he does. I mean, I can't do some of the things that I used to do years ago. I think I can. My brain says I can, but when I get out and start doing it, I can't. But I know it kills him to have to hire somebody to do every little thing, but, we're at that state in our life where that's just what's going to have to be done. He just cannot do it. And the doctors have already told him he's got to take it easy if he wants to live, 10 more years, whatever. So it's just one of those things. But, I know any of you know that have either your siblings or yourself in that kind of situation where you know how to do something, but you can't do it because of your health. It's debilitating even in itself, just being in that situation. Oh, yes, I love that. Oh, I love it. Okay, let's put it in our journal. So it'll be a belly band with a pocket. And I'm getting a good bit of stuff in this journal, and I love it, love it, love it. And I don't know if the person that purchased this message to me or not. I haven't got to read all of the emails, but if you did, let me know. And you know what? I may just put it on that paper right there. I like that. Okay. Now we're only going to glue this right at the top. and right at the bottom. And thank you guys for listening to me when I get in these situations where I just want to talk to you, talk to someone. You know, I don't have a lot of friends locally, so I don't have a friend that I can call up and, I mean, I have somebody I could call up, but I don't have a friend that I can go see and say, hey, I need to talk today. So, you guys are my friends. You guys are my buddies. And I like to get on here and just talk to you about things that are bothering me. And I like for you to tell me things that's going on in your life, because I want to be there for you. I want to pray for you and, you know, console you and do what I can to help you. Now, look at that. Isn't that cute? And so we have a nice belly band, and then we have a pocket at the top. That is cute. Now I'll probably decorate that tag a little bit more, and I will stitch around it, but I'm saving all my tags and everything to stitch around right at the very last. Now this is a little piece that was sent to me by Cindy, and I put it right here in the corner, and you could even tuck a little tag in there. So there's lots of little pieces in here. You know, these little pieces that we can tuck in there. So that'll be good. We could even make little tags out of that. But I do want to make another one of those belly bands. And I think I put it back here somewhere. Let's make another. And I'm just going to grab my mat. And I'm going to grab another one of these. And I got a whole big box of these. So thank you to whomever sent them to me. I really appreciate them. Okay. Whoops. Don't put it on top, Edith. That's not a good thing. Okay. There's that. And the reason I closed the gussets up is because with my belly band, I don't want the gussets to be open. But we'll figure out something else to do with them where we don't have to close those little gussets. And we can actually make use of them. Okay, cut that little piece off. What if we do this one in blue, maybe? I think that blue would be pretty. Now, really, I want to do this one with that little bit of green. That almost looks like the green sagey grass that's at the ocean. Seaweed, I guess you could call it. But I think I'm going to do it in that. And I'm just going to go ahead and trim these edges off. All right, again, I'm just going to lay it down on here. This keeps me from having to measure. And then I'm just going to lay my ruler on here. And tear that off. And I'm hoping that I got it. Oh, look, 188. Yeah, that looks about right. I'm inking around it with some of the old paper, which the old paper looks like a combination of green and brown. But it makes the paper that you're inking it with, makes the paper that you're inking on, it makes it look really, really old and distressed. Like it's been there forever, ever. Forever and a day. Okay, let's go ahead and put our glue on here. And I'm just putting that glue around the edges. And then I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue right on the or I'm putting that glue around in the middle. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue right around the edges. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted, and I don't mean to be. But, just a little distracted right now. I know what I'm doing, I just can't talk. Okay, let's put that like that. And my card. Just press that down. Oh, I love that. And see how much glue you get out? If you have a glob of glue under there, which I think that's a glob, you can press that right out where it makes everything nice and smooth when you use some kind of card. So, and then I just, like I said, I take my baby wipe, and it's a little bit damp, and I just clean it right up, and it's ready to go for the next time. This is just a piece of our craft, nonstick craft mat. This is not the whole thing. This is an old one that I've had for a long, long time, and it actually tore. Well, I cut it. I will tell you that it tore, but I actually cut it. Didn't mean to. And so I just cut it up into little pieces that I can keep on my desk, and that's what I ink on. Because I don't like to use my book pages, because I love using my book pages for my journals. Okay. There we go. We've got that one done. And let me make sure. Yeah, this is hanging over just a tiny bit. All right, now we'll find a label that will go on here. Well, if I put it the right way up, I started to say it looks kind of funny, but I had it upside down. No, I'm not really liking that one. We may just use the same label that we used on the other one. I kind of like that one. Yeah, let's do that. This is teeny tiny, but I think it goes this way. I'll put it about right there. Okay, now I think this needs something else on down here. I'm not going to put lace on the sides of this one, and we're just going to see what it'll look like. I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think, one of our little doilies. Might need one a little bit larger. Okay, I'm going to go with that large doily there. And let's see. I'm not sure where this one came from, truthfully. I may have got it in Happy Mail. It may have come from Katie. I'm not sure. Or it may be one of ours that I have just coffee dyed. We have some about this size. I think this is about 5.5 maybe. But it may come from us. We have some 4.5, some 5.5. We have the little ones. I don't know. But we're just going to put this down there. And it's just the right size. I had already used one piece of it on something else. And then, what will we put right across here? Let's see if we have a piece of ephemera or something that will fit in there. These are just some little pieces of ephemera that I have gotten in Happy Mail and different places. And I haven't really put them up yet in my little ephemera journals, so I just put them in here until I have time to go through them. Let's see. I don't know if that pink would look good because this is actually a ocean journal. We really don't have any pink in there. We could do a light purple. We'll look and see what that looks like. Let's look in our, let's just hold it over here and see what it would look like with that purple one on there. Well, it actually would not look bad, I don't think. Because some of these papers have a little bit, it looks like a deep purple in them. So I don't think that looks bad. Let's just put that down there. Again, I'm going to go around it just to cover up a little bit of that white. And you could trim that white off, but I'm just going to go around and cover a little bit of it up with my old paper. Just keeps it from being so bright. So bright white. Trim that little leaf off. Oh, I think that's cute. Now we need to make another tag. I have another Tim Holtz backing to the ephemera here. I'm just going to mark it. You know, the FedEx truck just left a minute ago, and he was pulled up right there where that tree left, where that tree fell to. Bless his heart. I know he's glad he got out of here. Okay. I'll make sure it fits before I start decorating, because if it doesn't fit, I need to trim it a little bit. Come on. Yes, fits perfect. Okay. And we need to cover this. And since I did this in that greenish color on the outside, I think I'm going to use a blue here. Just trying to find out which blue I want to use. I think I'll just go ahead and use this blue. Now I'm just going to put this right in the middle so that I don't tear my glue up quite so bad. So you guys always know what the excitement is going on in my world. Let me know what's going on in your world. Usually I'm on camera with you when things happen, so. At least I wasn't on live, because I did scream. I did yell pretty loud. I didn't say, like I said, I didn't say anything dirty. But I did yell pretty loud, and I would have hated to have scared you guys to death. But it scared me to death. You know, the sound of a tree coming down is something else. It just, I don't know, it sounds like everything's falling apart around you. We was on vacation one time, and we were up in the mountains and had a cabin up there, and there was tree. We were kind of by ourselves. And there was trees all around us. And it come a pretty good storm. It wasn't really bad, but it was lightning and raining, and the wind was blowing a little, but not what we thought was really bad considered to what we have here. But all of a sudden, we was sitting out on they had a little screened-in porch, and we was sitting out on the screened-in porch talking, and all of a sudden, this loud noise just, boom, I mean, I don't know, it was loud. And, of course, us girls, we screamed. We didn't know what was going on. And the guys just jumped up like they had been shot, and they go trying to figure out what's going on. And of course, it was the tree coming down right beside the cabin. It didn't hit the cabin or anything, but it blocked the road where we couldn't get in and out. So we had to call and have somebody come out that owned the cabin to cut the tree so that we could get out to go somewhere. So that was interesting. We have so many little interesting stories, I'm telling you. My friend of mine used to say, you just need to write a book. I mean, you've got so many stories of things that's happened to you and your family that you need to write a book. And not all of them have been bad. Most of them have been positive and been good, and we've been spared and that kind of thing. But they have all been very interesting. Very, very interesting. We keep things moving. All right, let's cut the corners, because I actually trimmed the corners before I put the backing on. So we're just going to go around those with some scissors. I sent Benji the picture of the tree. He said, I'll be over there in a little bit to cut it up. He said, we'll check that other one and we'll get it cut up too. He's such a good son-in-law. And Brendan is a very good son-in-law too, don't get me wrong. Brendan just has a lot of health issues. He's had knee replacement and first one thing and another, and he just can't do a lot that Benji can do. So he's like Dad. He wants to do it. It's just that he can't do it. Alright. I think we might just put a little label. These are the Tim Holtz number labels. And we do have more. If we don't have any of those in right now, we do have more on order. I don't know if we have any in or not. We do have a Memorial Day sale coming up. It's not going to be on Memorial Day. It'll actually be starting probably before Memorial Day. Probably next week. So you guys watch for that. Don't know all the details right now. We're still working out everything. Let's see. And I'll probably put more on the tag after I stitch around it. But right now I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I will cut a little pull to put at the top. And this punch, I know somebody's going to ask. I've tried to tell in every video I use. This punch has long since been discontinued by Stamp It Up. It's an old Stamp It Up punch. It's called a whale tail punch. You can look and see if you can find it anywhere. I wouldn't have a clue if anybody has it out there, and if anybody does, they usually want an arm and a leg for it because they know how rare it is. But I don't know. You just have to Google it, I guess. Okay, so there's our little pull. Okay. Oh yes, that goes in there perfect. I hope. Perfect. Yeah, it does. So there's that one. Let's grab our journal over here. And I think I might put that one there. Let's see. See if there's another spot. See, that almost has a purpley in there. We might put it here. Oh, I like it there better. Okay, let's put it there. Okay, glue just at the top and at the bottom. Did you see what I did? I was going to put it over here and I glued it right there. Oh well, that'll work. That will be fine. I'll put something else over here. Okay, so there's that one. Let's make sure that we've still got the belly band, and we do. And then we've got our tag in there. Isn't that cute? Alright, I think that is the video for this, on this one. I have had a couple of people that have requested that I show how I made the Willow and Sage cover. Now, I make most of my covers the same way. This one's made just like that one. I take 2 pieces of material. I put, this has got a piece of that bubble wrap, or this is really an envelope, bubble wrap envelope that I got in the Happy Mail, and I keep them. I just cut it the size, and then I glue the little bubble wrap down to the cover, and then I put my backing on, and then I just take it to my sewing machine and I stitch it. I mean, that's the way I do all of my journals. And I have got, if you go to my journal playlist, you'll see I have got a few that I have shown how I actually put that bubble wrap inside. I don't have any showing how I stitch them because I can't get a camera over to my sewing machine, but you know, they're just stitched around the edges. I mean, if you don't have a sewing machine, you could just glue it. You don't have to stitch it. But that's how I put my journal covers together. They're all made similar. And if I use bubble wrap, I just put the bubble wrap in there, and then I kind of glue it down with a glue stick on a few places just to hold it until I stitch, and then I stitch it. And that's it. That's how easy they are. So I hope that answers some questions, and we will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. Don't forget we have a giveaway coming up this next Friday. If you're not subscribed, you are not eligible to win. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.